Hi everyone, welcome back to the Golden Girls channel. Today we are discussing makeup. We're going to be talking about two aspects of makeup: the social view of it, how it can add or subtract from body confidence and how people perceive it, as well as the more physical aspect of makeup, different chemicals and things within makeup that can help or harm our skin and our health in general. So the first thing that we did was I had asked the girls to bring in their favorite beauty product. For some of it was makeup, and for others it was skincare, and we looked on the ingredient list for those things, and we basically wrote down anything that we didn't recognize in any way. So we started looking these up to see what they were and what restrictions the FDA has on them. So it's pretty concerning because the FDA's requirements are really ambiguous. We went to their website and we looked up these different substances to see what the requirements were for release. From what we could tell from their website, in order to be released to the public, a cosmetic product only needs to be approved by the FDA if it has color additives in it. That's the only thing that needs to be approved before release. And after that, if there's any problems, lawsuits, whatever, with specific substances in it, that's when the FDA steps in and has to approve it. So if it's not, if you don't have like the package of it, I just want you to go on your phones and look up like the brand and the like whatever it is.
There's a lot, so
you don't need to write everything, but just like look through it and just think like
No, do what my teacher does. If you can't pronounce it, write it.
Yeah.
Order the first four biggest ones.
Yeah, just do that. Okay, so I went on the FDA website when I was researching this, and I don't have a lot of information from them because it's very, very ambiguous. I use Morphe palettes a lot, and I already am scared because I'm pretty sure they have high levels of talc in them. Most eyeshadows have talc in them. Talc has to have no more than 20 ppm of lead and 30 ppm of arsenic. Okay, this says the ingredient must be of a purity suitable for its intended use. That seems very ambiguous. The companies might not even know what else is in there. Like, manufacturers can get rid of a lot of imperfections and a lot of impurities within their products by having good practices and testing their materials, but because that costs money, most producers don't do that. So there's impurities within their the chemicals and the minerals that they're using. So it's like drinking tap water without, we don't really know what's in the tap water.
Talcum powder and cancer.
A lot of companies and products aren't required to be purified.
Oh, okay, so vanilla is kind of like a sugar additive.
Wait, why do we need sugar in makeup? Yeah.
I'm not gonna like eat it, but I just like wanted to taste it. It smells like
but
it.
Their first ingredient is talc, and it's not good to ingest it.
Because if it's not like cosmetic grade, what's it called? Like glitter sticking, go in your eyes and like cut your corneas and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so don't use glitter from the craft store. Mica is a mineral glimmer, so it gives it shine.
Also with mica, mica is also exempt from certification. So like any industry, you know, they use cheaper materials because it saves them money.
Yeah.
Like there's literally a box that says list of substances and limitations, and there's nothing in the limitations box.
Oh no.
Collagen like isn't good for you. Like there's like those keratin shampoos. Like the keratin doesn't infuse in your hair and like stuff like that, and collagen doesn't seep into your skin. Like there's no collagen lotion or like keratin hair mask that will actually seep into your hair. You just put something on top of it. Nothing actually seeps like deep into your skin for it to do it.
That collagen has to be injected, and that's why there's like lip injections and stuff. Yeah. It's like again like they're putting things in the makeup that have no purpose basically.
Yeah, and people think it's a good thing that, oh, collagen, like I know that's really good for my skin, like the elasticity and like.
Yeah.
And so they put it on their face, but in reality, it really does nothing.
Arsenic certification is not necessary for the protection of public health, and therefore batches thereof are exempt from the certification requirements of this section. In general, the only time that companies need to be FDA approved to release the cosmetic is if it's has color additives in it.
Ooh, snail slime.
What?
I put snail slime in beauty products too.
Nasty.
Sheep grease.
There's like a bat poop and like
There's a lot
eel
of
shells.
stuff in there, yeah. I don't know what this is, and that's concerning me already. There doesn't show any restrictions. So I think just the fact that like there's a lot of these things that we don't recognize, and sometimes they aren't even like bad for you. Sometimes they're not bad things, you know. Just because it has a fancy name doesn't mean it's like a dangerous chemical. But I think like you do want to know what you're putting on your face, right? Because if we just say like, oh well, it's just sciencey words, like whatever, and let it pass, like you know, then there's a lot of things, like as we read through these, a lot of them are like certification exempt in high levels, or they don't have limitations by the FDA. So it's like you don't know if the company has tested it and if it's purified or not.
No, really, the FDA doesn't do its job if it's like letting all of this stuff get like.
Yeah.
The whole thing is to approve good things.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because you know the FDA in general, unless it causes a risk to public health, the FDA doesn't need to approve things for them to be released. It's kind of like a approval stamp, right? So you can still buy. There's plenty of things that aren't FDA approved that you can buy. It's just like not recommended to buy it if it's not FDA approved. But there's, I mean, lobbyism, and there's so much that like it's the only thing in makeup that FDA has to approve is color additives. When you guys go home, if you do use like face makeup or like eyeshadow or anything, like look on your brushes and just look and see, because a lot of times you can see it.
If you wash it, you can really tell. Like
Yeah, like wash them. It's really important to make sure that you guys are like washing them. So it's like not only do you not want to be like breaking out and stuff, but it can also be important to like your general health, because as we talked about, like there's chemicals in makeup, right? And so not only is your face oil building up on the brushes, but so can the product. And so even though you think, oh, I'm applying this much eyeshadow, you're actually applying that much eyeshadow plus everything that's still on the brush. So it's like, what are you really putting on your face? And you know, if you leave your makeup brushes out or like not in a bag, yeah, you know, there's gonna be dust on it. There's like all sorts of things that can get on it. So it's just like anything else. It's
not like 10 parts per 100. That'd be bad.
Yeah. So exactly, it's not like yeah. It's not like it's 10%, right? It's a small number. But when you think about it, it's like, why are these materials even in the makeup in the first place? And it's not a big enough number to like do real harm to you unless you're using that product every day. You're not washing it off, or you're using it with combined. Like, because if you're using eyeshadow that has 10 parts per million, and then you're using eyeliner that's 10 ppm, and like all that can add up. So yeah, as we looked on it, the requirements and the restrictions were pretty obscure, and they didn't really leave us feeling very secure in our makeup. But on the other hand, there are plenty of things in makeup that, you know, just because it has a long, big scientific word doesn't necessarily mean that it is bad for you. It also doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you either, though. One thing to watch out for, it depends on your own personal beliefs with vegan and cruelty-free makeup products. But if you are seeking for those options, keep in mind that if a company isn't putting cruelty-free on their label or in an obvious place, they're probably not cruelty-free. Because especially now in this day and age with a lot of growth in those two movements, companies are going to take advantage of that. So even though PETA's definitely a controversial group, and they have some ups and some downs, but they do have a really good system to check to see if a brand is cruelty-free. You can simply just type it in and it will come up. Some ones that you might not know that are not cruelty-free. Benefit is not cruelty-free. Makeup Forever is not cruelty-free. Bobbi Brown, Marc Jacobs fragrances. So Marc Jacobs fragrances is not cruelty-free, but their makeup is, which is odd to me. Also, the Sephora brand is not cruelty-free. So there's a lot of ones that aren't cruelty-free. On the other hand, there are a lot of ones that are, like Anastasia Beverly Hills, Too Faced, Kat Von D, Tarte, NARS, Marc Jacobs Beauty. I don't know how Styla, Stillo, whatever that one is. I asked the girls who of them felt comfortable leaving the house with no makeup on, and who felt like they needed makeup in order to feel worthy or appropriate going out. I wanted to do like kind of like a survey thing about makeup. So I wanted to know, how many of you feel comfortable leaving the house with zero makeup on? 1, 2, 3. Was that like?
Sometimes. Because all I ever wear is mascara, so that's not a lot of makeup, but when I don't have it on, I feel weird.
So yeah, so absolutely no makeup, you feel perfectly comfortable. 2, 3, okay, I'll put like 3.5.
I was 0.5.
And we also talked about what forms makeup or beauty products they felt the most reliant on. Molly?
Foundation.
Eyebrows. Lipstick. Mascara.
Like, when you put on makeup, do you feel that you're wearing it for like creative purposes, or do you feel that you're wearing it because you feel like unfinished without it? like it's a necessity? Do you guys think of it as like I need to be wearing makeup, or like I like wearing it?
I do it half and half. It's like if I'm gonna wear it, why not make it look cool kind of thing.
So do you feel like when you choose to put makeup on, do you feel like, oh, I need to put makeup on to like look decent?
Yep.
Okay.
Like everyday use or just like occasion?
Just whatever, yeah.
Well, like occasions, I feel like I do it because of the occasion.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I don't wear it.
I feel underdressed if you're, like, I feel underdressed if I'm not wearing makeup at like a special thing.
Mm.
But like to school, like I don't like sometimes I don't wear makeup because it's like, but I don't feel. I used to feel like super looked at, and I felt like there was a lot of attention on me when I wasn't wearing makeup, which I think is kind of the opposite. Like if I'm wearing intense makeup, which I don't do often, but like I feel like then more people will look at you than if you don't wear makeup. Because when not wearing makeup is more fun than wearing a lot.
Oh, I was just gonna say that like I used to be like I could not like my freshman year I could not go to school without makeup. Just to get last year, but like now it's just like I only wear it if I'm going to like, and I wear it for like artistic or whatever. Like it's fun to put on if I'm going to like an event or something, but I don't like wear it to school unless I'm like feeling it.
I wear, okay, so literally all I've worn is mascara. Like I've only ever done more than mascara 3 times in my life. For 8th year promotion, homecoming, and prom. Like today's graduation, I'm literally just wearing mascara because I can't even do makeup.
That's actually probably a good idea. You don't want it to like melt off in the sun.
That is true. So like that's all I ever wear, but like I do wear it like every, I mean unless I go on like swimming or something, because like then I just look at wrapping. But like I do wear it like every day, and it's just because like I already have like no eyebrows, so I feel like I then have like no eyelashes either, and then it's just like a bad combination.
Do you feel like you would look weird without mascara on?
I feel like other people wouldn't think I look weird, but I feel like I would look weird.
We also talked about how makeup can affect your body image. So we talked about some judgments that people may have made about us because of makeup or lack of, as well as some judgments we ourselves may have made about others. I'm totally all for wearing makeup if someone wants to wear makeup, as long as they're doing it for healthy reasons and they're using an option that is not gonna harm their body. I'm gonna give you guys some facts that I found. So there was a survey done by the Huffington Post, and they asked girls ages 8 through 18 who wear makeup whether they feel inadequate and or unconfident without makeup on, and 20% of them say that they do feel uncomfortable if they're not wearing makeup. Yeah, if you think about that, because you know when we were doing our eating disorder discussions and we were talking about how percentages, even though they might seem small, considering the amount of people, that's a really large number. So 20% of girls, that's a really big number of girls. Did you guys think that wearing makeup can add, take away, or I guess like neither, to body confidence?
It can add.
I could add, but it could also take away if you're not comfortable with how it looks.
Yeah.
I feel like too that if you're wearing makeup because you like it and because like you feel good wearing it, then that can definitely add to your body confidence. But I feel like also sometimes when people think like, oh, I have to wear makeup or I'm gonna look like crap, then it just gives you the idea that when you're not wearing makeup you don't look good, and I think that can really damage people's self-esteem. So I think it's like one of those things, like anything else, it's like a healthy balance.
I think people become dependent on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should feel good wearing makeup, but you should also feel good without wearing makeup. And you know, yeah, you shouldn't have to feel like you aren't like pretty or you're not like worthy of anything if you're not like wearing makeup, you know.
It's not like the fact that I necessarily don't think I look like bad without makeup on. It's just sometimes I don't like the attention that it gets. Like my dad would be like, "Are you sick? Like, are you tired? Like, what's wrong?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just not wearing makeup. So he's like, "Oh, like you have really dark under eye circles." Or my mom's like, "Why do you still have mascara under your eyes?" I'm like, "No, I just like, have dark circles."
Yeah, and I think that's one thing too, is that generally with like the question about makeup and body image, it has less to do with yourself and more to do with how other people react. Because yeah, like if you're not wearing, I feel bad for people who say it sometimes, because it's like, well, how are they supposed to know, you know? Because especially with guys, a lot of times, or like people who don't wear makeup, they don't realize that you're even wearing makeup. Do you guys have any like other opinions on like makeup and how it connects to body image?
Oh, when guys say take her swimming on the first date.
Oh my God.
I think that's really rude, and also
This is why waterproof makeup was invented. Because if I'm gonna troll you all the way.
it also makes me sad when girls are like uncomfortable not wearing makeup, like when they're dating someone or something, you know, because it's just like you should be comfortable with yourself. Like, anyways.
Or people say like they feel like you're lying.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, also like,
So do you think blue eyeshadow is my skin? Like, bruh.
well, also
Advertising.
advertising like you're not a product, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's and it's just one of those things where I think also because we talked about this last time, I think when we were talking about menstruating maybe, or we've talked about it in the past about how a lot of times guys don't actually feel that way, but they're acting like that because they think that that's like what a guy is supposed to do. And so it's like I know a lot of guys who don't think stuff like that, but I hear them make jokes about it because they're like, oh yeah, like I'm just trying to be a typical
With the
typical
boys.
dude. Yeah.
Wear makeup if you want, don't if you don't.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that tweet? I mean, you probably have, but it's like, they should make a law where it's legal to kill a girl if she wakes up and she's like looks worse than she did the night before.
That's like so disgusting.
I was like,
I feel like my favorite
First
quote
of all-
is changing because it was like always this other one, but now it's like, because what men fear most about going to prison, women fear most
I
about
just
walking
posted
down the
that.
street. Yeah.
To connect it more back to the like body image and positivity thing, we've talked a lot about so far, like, do you feel like judged for doing this or not doing that? Do you guys think that you, and it's okay if you do, but do you think that you make judgments about other people based on how much makeup they are or are not wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like what
I don't even
judgments
notice.
do you think you make?
I think it depends. Well, like, I don't think I judge people on their personality based on, well, maybe I do, but it's not like they're a bad person or like they're not nice. It's more like, wow, they must be creative, like they're wearing really cool makeup, or like, wow, they're like artistic person, like they're really talented, or like, oh, they just learned how to put on makeup.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely something to work on. Like Kate said last time, sometimes they'll be thinking things about themselves or about others, and they'll have to correct themselves to be like, no, like I should be thinking that. It's not nice. And I do that too because we're humans. It's natural. We're gonna make mistakes and we're gonna make judgments or think things that are rude. But like, it's one of those things that you have to like actively work on because everybody has a right to do their makeup in their own way. And if that's what they like, regardless of whether it's like trending and that's like the proper technique. If they seem happy with it and if they love it, then like all for them, right? So it's just like one of those things where I feel like we as people just need to allow like the creativity. And sure, you might not like it. Like I really hate the eyebrow trend of like making them like wild eyebrows and they're like all up. I hate it.
The feather.
one.
I think yeah. And so you think it's cool. I think it's like really weird. So it's like anything else. Everybody has opinions on it. So
It's cool for the runway.
Alright, that's it for today. Thank you for joining us once again on the Golden Girls channel. This week, I challenge you, if you're someone who generally wears makeup on a daily basis, try to leave the house without makeup and think about yourself positively, look at everything you love about yourself, and really flaunt your natural face. If you're someone who doesn't generally wear makeup, or even if you are, and you see someone who is wearing makeup in a specific way that you might not like or that you're not used to, try to really think about your thoughts and control judgments, and even go out of your way to compliment someone. I mean, I look at pictures of me from 8th grade when I first started trying to do eyeliner, and I literally just like drew a line, like there's no wing.
remember when I was like the
mine
better
was
one of
literally
makeup?
in a swirl. I don't even think I knew what it was. I was literally getting a pixie swirl out of my eye.
I'm Sammy.
So like when I pick these up, or like that.
Yeah. So always, right?
Crack it up, but not go.
Like you wash your clothes probably once a week, right? So it's just like I love Sammy. Sometimes
How many people just
paintbrush.
I like to
Where's the organized jumper thing on the bike? Why do you need so many paintbrushes? Don't you just have them eyes like mixing the things? Not like
Okay, irrelevant.
I try to love him.
I literally, he's my buddy, sir. He's my boy. He's like, he's the butt your face. I feel like still my boy. It's still my boy.
So yeah.
Yikes.
That's it.
Your mom reminds me of Meryl Streep.
My mom.
Yeah.
I was trying to say like, don't judge people. Like talc. Okay, Marina, what are some of those big words?
Water.
Okay, go.
And I imagine taking my revenge on you or her, but where would I be then? All the hurt you deserve won't make me feel better. So I just wait a broken